A national helpline for victims of modern slavery says it's receiving a record number of calls. The Bristol-based charity Unseen says it receives almost 12,000 cries for help last year, with some callers reporting they'd been paid just 30 pence a day, made to sleep in shipping containers and, in the worst cases, raped and beaten. Well, we've been given rare access to a safe house in the west of England which cares for those who've been mistreated. Nathan Heath from our investigations team has been looking into this vile practice. Here's his exclusive report.
Basically became slaves. We're not allowed to talk, we're not allowed to cry. We're allowed just work. They beat the people for everything.
Tania came to the UK on a 6-month visa with the dream of becoming an archaeologist. But when she got off the plane, the reality was very different.
They take my passport, and after they said to me what I must buy more money, and I was asking the questions, but every question they beat me.
She became part of a crew of agricultural workers, paid 30 pence a day and forced to sleep in shipping containers.
I didn't feel that I'm human anymore, to be fair. It's just gone, everything gone.
Tania isn't alone.
Hello, you're through to the Modern Slavery and Exploitation.
Calls to the UK Modern Slavery and Exploitation Helpline are at a record high.
We're getting busier and busier every year. The biggest factor on that over the past year has been the care sector. So we've seen a real rise in people. So they're recruited in their home countries, normally like Southern African nations or India, and they're recruited and they're kind of sold this expectation of a really good job in the care sector in the UK. And unfortunately, what we're seeing is a huge amount of abuse going into that. Is that okay?
And it's not just Unseen that's feeling the pressure. Last year, more than 3,500 victims were rescued and supported in safe houses and outreach services run by the Salvation Army. I was given rare access to a woman's safe house. We can't tell you exactly where it is, but it's in the west of England. I spoke to a resident we're calling Maria.
They would take me off to the homes of local farmers to have sex with them.
How old are you when the abuse started?
22.
And how long did it go on for?
Nearly 20 years. I was living up on a cloud and watching someone else live my life, and I was just up there completely detached from it all. I'm 58 years old, and I've never done anything. I've never been anywhere.
For many of our clients who come in, initially they're very concerned and anxious because they may have been placed in a house, especially the women, before, but that will have been a house, a brothel, where they will have been, sold for sex. When they're here, this becomes their home. It's a place where they can feel relaxed, they can feel safe.
This place has just saved my life. It's taught me to be independent, and it's given me the freedom to grow into the person I want to be.
Please, if you next time see somebody in this position, you see lots of people who look like skeletons, please call the police.
Tania was a slave in fields where ordinary people walked past every day. And charities say this isn't unusual. It often happens in plain sight. Nathan Heath, BBC Points West.